It all began like a whisper in the dark, quiet at first, almost imperceptible, but heavy. The kind of silence that makes the world pause, that makes hearts skip a beat, that holds every eye and ear captive. Kandi Burruss, the shining star of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, had vanished from the public eye. No posts, no interviews, no social media activity. Nothing. Fans immediately began to panic, scouring every corner of the internet for answers, piecing together fragments of information, desperate to understand what had happened. The internet became a frenzy of speculation. Is Kandi okay? Has something tragic occurred? Where is she? Theories multiplied by the second. And then, after weeks of silence, Kandi spoke. But what came out of her mouth was not the kind of statement anyone could ignore. It was not ordinary. It was explosive. It was raw. It was a confession so deeply personal, so intensely emotional, that the entire digital world seemed to freeze in place, mid-scroll. This was not the kind of drama manufactured for television cameras or staged for ratings. This was real life, real heartbreak, real betrayal. The kind that leaves a permanent mark on the soul. Kandi's words carried the weight of a life upended, a marriage shattered and trust broken beyond repair. She revealed something that reverberated across every social media platform, sending shockwaves through millions of followers. Thousands of tweets poured in within minutes, Instagram stories erupted in solidarity and outrage, and TikTok creators began dissecting every word, every pause, every tear. This was not merely a tale of infidelity. It was a story about a woman whose entire reality had been torn apart by the person she believed would never, ever hurt her, her husband, Todd Tucker. The man who once called her his forever had been living a hidden, deceitful life right under her nose. But the betrayal was far more intricate and sinister than anyone had imagined. This was not some idle rumor whispered by strangers or gossip spread by tabloids. No, this truth wormed its way into her life in the cruelest, most personal and devastating manner imaginable. Kandi discovered the betrayal in the one place she had always considered a sanctuary, a refuge from the world, her own home. And the world watched, almost voyeuristically, as her life seemed to unravel in slow motion. Social media erupted with heartbreak emojis, anger, and disbelief. Some refused to believe that the reality of what had happened could possibly be true, while others demanded justice for the woman who had been deceived and humiliated in the most intimate of ways. Kandi herself stood there, trembling yet unwavering, broken yet fierce, offering the world a confession that was as much a declaration of truth as it was an exhibition of strength. She had been betrayed in the one place she thought she could always feel safe, her own restaurant in Atlanta, a place she had built from sweat, ambition, and countless sleepless nights. A space meant to symbolize her accomplishments and her dreams had become the stage for the most gut-wrenching betrayal she could have ever imagined. Kandi's voice quivered as she recounted the moment that changed everything. I found out about Todd's affair inside my own restaurant. Those words hit like a thunderclap. Fans gasped collectively across social media. The pain was raw, unfiltered, and each syllable carried the crushing weight of heartbreak. This was not simple a lapse in judgment, a fleeting temptation, or a moment of weakness. This was a sustained, clandestine relationship nurtured in the shadows for months while Kandi continued to pour her heart into her marriage. The deception was deep, and Kandi's world began to collapse, piece by piece. Her followers reacted in shock and disbelief. "Not Todd, tell me this isn't true. I'm literally shaking. How could he do this inside her own restaurant?" The betrayal was personal, poetic even in its cruelty. The very place that symbolized her empire, the place she had built with her blood and sweat, had been desecrated. Her sanctuary had become a grave for her trust, buried alive beneath Todd's deceit. Just when it seemed that the world might have expected some remorse from Todd, he did something far worse than simple denial. He lashed out. He didn't apologize, he didn't reflect, and he certainly didn't admit the betrayal. Instead, he called her a liar. "I do not know what she is talking about," he snapped, his voice sharp and defensive. The emotional blow of this refusal to acknowledge the truth was brutal. How does someone recover when the person who shattered them refuses to even admit it happened? Kandi's anguish deepened, not solely because of the affair itself, but because of the utter dismissiveness with which Todd treated her pain. He had destroyed her world, and yet acted as though nothing had occurred. But Kandi was not a woman who would crumble quietly. She had evidence, proof that would make even the most skeptical pause. When she revealed it, the internet exploded. A photograph, a single image that made millions stop scrolling mid-feed. Todd, inside her restaurant, but not alone, sitting too close to another woman, their body language far too intimate to be dismissed as innocent. This wasn't a blurry tabloid image or a rumor circulating online. It was her photograph, taken with her own hands, capturing the betrayal in the very place they had built together. This was not a business meeting. It was not a chance encounter. It was a date, a documented betrayal. And even then, Todd doubled down. "That is not what it looks like," he insisted. But his words were meaningless. The silence that surrounded him spoke louder than any explanation could. The internet saw the guilt, the evasion, the desperation. People were witnessing more than infidelity. They were witnessing humiliation. A woman stripped of trust, forced to confront the collapse of everything she thought she knew about her life, her marriage, and the man she had loved. Kandi's voice, fragile yet resolute, could be heard trembling as she confessed to one reporter, "I do not think Todd wants to be with me anymore." In that single line, the world heard the final crack in her spirit. But the story did not end there. Todd had already decided to separate, choosing his daughter Kaela over Kandi. The internet split in opinion. Some rallied behind Kandi, furious on her behalf, while others speculated that the marriage's collapse had deeper roots, dating back years of tension between Kandi and Kaela. Had Todd's loyalty been shifting long before the affair? Had Kandi been too preoccupied with maintaining the pieces of her family to notice the inevitable destruction happening around her? Kandi's once unshakable persona began to crack under the weight of exhaustion, heartbreak, and betrayal. Todd's refusal to acknowledge the truth left her gasping for closure. Every denial was another knife twisting deeper into the wound, another echo of the life she thought she knew slipping through her fingers. But in the midst of this pain, Kandi's story evolved into something larger, something that transcended betrayal. It became a story of identity, resilience, and the gut-wrenching realization of loving someone who no longer existed, not physically, not emotionally, not morally. Then, in a move that stunned everyone watching, Kandi confronted Todd. This was not impulsive, it was strategic. It was an emotional chess move executed with precision. She exposed the affair, tore down the walls of secrecy, and announced to the world the devastating truth of her marriage. There was no turning back, no retreat, no undoing the words spoken and the evidence revealed. The empire she had built, the family she had nurtured, and the marriage she had believed in crumbled in real time before millions of witnesses. Kandi Burruss was done suffering in silence. This was not about airing dirty laundry. It was about reclaiming her voice. For too long, she had been cast as the calm one, the strong one, the woman who always held it together. But now she was unleashing a storm, a tempest of raw honesty and fierce empowerment. The internet erupted with gasps, hashtags, and shock. Everywhere people asked, could Kandi and Todd survive this? Could a marriage so fundamentally shattered by betrayal, deceit, and public humiliation ever be repaired? The answer was painfully clear. When confronted, Todd did not show remorse. He did not apologize. He did not flinch. He repeated the same cold, dismissive line, "I do not know what she is talking about." His repeated denials were not meant for the world. They were meant for himself. Kandi's heart broke in slow motion. This was no longer about infidelity alone. It was about disrespect, manipulation, and the refusal to acknowledge the damage caused. After weeks of emotional chaos, Kandi reached a breaking point. Hospitalized by the strain of the situation, she returned with a new resolve. The grief had burned away, leaving only fire. She walked into her home, faced Todd, and declared with unflinching clarity, "Enough.
No more tears, no more silence, no more pretending. In a cinematic moment, she physically removed Todd from the home they had shared, commanding him to take Kaela and never return. This act of reclamation sent shockwaves through social media. Hashtag Team Kandi trended within hours. Opinions were divided. Some called it empowerment, others declared it extreme. But everyone knew one thing: the old Kandi Burruss was gone, replaced by a woman determined to reclaim her life and her dignity.
However, Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker have been building their family for years with love, commitment, and dedication, creating a home environment that has been both supportive and inspiring. Kandi, of course, is best known for her incredible achievements as a Grammy-winning singer, songwriter, and reality TV star, and she has used her platform to share both her professional accomplishments and glimpses into her personal life with fans. Todd Tucker, meanwhile, has made a name for himself behind the scenes in the entertainment industry as a producer and executive, showing that both partners in this relationship have a deep understanding of the demands and complexities of life in the spotlight. Together, Kandi and Todd have become a power couple whose relationship extends beyond the cameras. Fans have had the opportunity to watch their family life unfold on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, where the dynamics between Kandi, Todd, and their children, including Todd's daughter Kaela, have always been a point of interest. Over the years, viewers have seen the care, respect, and dedication that Kandi and Todd put into raising a blended family, and this latest announcement is a continuation of that story. Kaela, Todd's daughter from a previous relationship, has always been a cherished part of the Tucker Burruss family. Although she tends to keep her personal life more private than her famous stepmother, she has consistently shown support for Kandi and Todd's marriage, which has been a heartening element for fans who have followed the family for years. Recently, Kandi and Todd confirmed the exciting news on Instagram, sharing a post that featured the three of them together and included the caption, "So happy to announce that our family is growing. We're expecting a little one." This simple announcement quickly turned into a social media sensation, with fans flooding the comments section to send congratulations, emojis, and messages of love. Kaela herself also shared her excitement in a heartfelt post, writing, "I'm beyond excited to become a mother. Can't wait to begin this new chapter in my life and share it with all of you." Alongside her words, she shared an adorable ultrasound image with the caption, "Already in love with you." Fans immediately responded with an outpouring of support, proving that the Tucker Burruss family has a strong fan base who celebrate both the big and small moments in their lives. It's clear that this is not just a private family milestone, it's a moment that resonates widely with those who have been following their journey. Kandi and Todd have always been known for their supportive nature, especially when it comes to their children and blended family. Kandi has frequently spoken about her close relationship with Kaela and expressed how proud she is of the young woman her stepdaughter has become. In response to the pregnancy announcement, Kandi shared, "I'm so happy for Kaela. I'm proud of the woman she has become, and now I get to be a grandmother. I can't wait to spoil this little one. It's truly a blessing to watch our family grow." Her words reflected not only excitement, but deep love and a genuine desire to nurture and support the next generation of the family. Todd echoed Kandi's sentiments, expressing pride in his daughter while emphasizing the importance of family unity during such an important moment. He said, "I couldn't be more proud of Kaela. This is such a special time for our family, and I'm looking forward to the new journey we're about to embark on together." The couple has also made it clear that they are ready to provide guidance, advice, and hands-on support as Kaela prepares to step into her new role as a mother, demonstrating once again that family has always been a priority for them. One of the most fascinating aspects of this story is how it highlights the dynamics of a blended family. Kandi and Todd's family already includes two young children together, Ace Wells Tucker, who is 7, and Blaze Tucker, who is 4. Kandi also has an older daughter, Riley Burruss, from a previous relationship, who has grown into a young adult and is pursuing her own path in life.
Blended families can be complex, and the Tucker-Burruss household is no exception. But Kandi and Todd have consistently demonstrated how love, mutual respect, and open communication can create harmony within a blended home. Kaela, despite being from Todd's previous relationship, has always been closely integrated into the family unit. Over the years, Kandi has developed a strong bond with Kaela, building a relationship rooted in trust, support, and understanding. The announcement of Kaela's pregnancy further emphasizes the strength and cohesion of the family, showing that new milestones, whether it's a birth, a birthday, or a personal achievement, are celebrated collectively. This is a family that has navigated the complexities of blended relationships with grace, and fans have been inspired by the love and unity they display.
The excitement surrounding this pregnancy hasn't been limited to the immediate family. Friends, extended family, and co-stars from The Real Housewives of Atlanta have all joined in celebrating the news. Social media platforms, from Instagram to Twitter, have been flooded with messages of congratulations, reflecting how invested people are in the lives of Kandi, Todd, and Kaela. Fans who have followed the family for years have been particularly excited to see this next chapter unfold, seeing the new baby as a symbol of continuity, love, and family growth. The support from the family's network of friends and colleagues highlights another interesting dynamic. In a celebrity family, public attention often amplifies private milestones. Yet despite the attention, Kandi, Todd, and Kaela have managed to celebrate the moment in a way that feels intimate and genuine, ensuring that this is about family joy rather than simply media spectacle. For Kandi and Todd, this pregnancy represents a transformative moment in their lives as they prepare to step into the role of grandparents for the first time. Grandparenthood has a new chapter that comes with its own unique joys and responsibilities, and Kandi and Todd have both expressed their excitement about the prospect. With Kandi's extensive experience in the entertainment industry and Todd's production background, the new baby will likely grow up surrounded by not just family love, but also exposure to creativity, mentorship, and guidance from both parents and grandparents. Grandparenthood in this case isn't just a ceremonial role, it's an active, loving, and supportive presence that Kandi and Todd are ready to provide. From sharing family traditions to helping nurture the child as they grow, this new phase of life promises to deepen the bonds within the Tucker-Burruss household and further strengthen the family's collective identity. The announcement has also highlighted the unique relationship between celebrity families and their fan base. Followers of the Tucker-Burruss family have consistently engaged with their lives through social media, forming an informal community that celebrates milestones like this together. Fans have taken to Instagram and Twitter to share heartfelt congratulations, speculate about names, and even share personal stories about family and parenthood, creating a sense of connection between the family and the public. This level of engagement is a testament to the family's authenticity and relatability. Despite living in the public eye, Kandi, Todd, and Kaela have managed to create moments that feel genuinely personal, allowing fans to celebrate alongside them. The upcoming birth, therefore, is not just a private family milestone, it's an event that resonates widely, bringing people together in excitement and anticipation. As Kaela prepares for motherhood, there's no doubt that the journey ahead will be filled with love, learning, and growth. With her father and stepmother by her side, she has a strong support system to help her navigate the joys and challenges of raising a child. Kandi and Todd's blended family dynamic has always shown that with care, communication, and dedication, families can thrive in complex circumstances. This new phase is a continuation of that legacy, a testament to resilience, unity, and love. Fans can also look forward to watching this journey unfold, whether through social media updates, public appearances, or simply the stories shared by the family over time. It's a beautiful reminder that family milestones, no matter the circumstances, are worth celebrating and can inspire others who follow along. Kandi chose herself. She reclaimed her power, piece by piece, and began the slow, deliberate process of healing. Her world would never be the same, and neither would she. Todd continued to deny, to hide behind pride, but Kandi was reborn. She returned to her passions, her work, her identity, pieces of herself that had been buried under years of compromise and emotional labor. And while the media clamored for her next move, demanding explanations, forgiveness, or reconciliation, Kandi refused to play their game. She did not owe anyone closure. She did not owe anyone a happy ending. She owed herself her freedom, her life, and her truth. Through heartbreak, betrayal, and public scrutiny, Kandi emerged stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever before. She was rebuilding, not for Todd, not for public sympathy, but for herself. And in that silence, in the stillness of her own recovery, Kandi Burruss became a symbol of resilience, a testament to the power of choosing oneself, even in the face of unimaginable pain. Kandi Burruss survived the unthinkable. She faced betrayal, heartbreak, and public scrutiny, yet she rose from the ashes, stronger, fiercer, and unapologetically herself. This is not a story about a marriage. It is the story of a woman reclaiming her life, her voice, and her identity. And in that reclamation, we witness the true power of survival.